And let the celebration continue. Good morning, 97.1. Jim Costa, John Jansen, Heather Park, Gov and Greg behind the glass. Luke Sloan on the updates. John?
Different feel this morning, eh?
A very different feeling as they are headed to Seattle this weekend. Good morning, buddy.
Good morning. That was stressful, painful, torturous, and wonderful, all in the span of about 2.5 to 3 hours. It was magnificent. And, hey, Tigers in 3. And they are not and will not be the first to win the opening game. As we talked about, hey, you win the opening game, you win the series, because Boston, those dirty dogs in Boston, are the first to win the opening game of the wild card series and then lose the next two to New York, and so they're out. The Tigers took care of business.
Does it feel like a weight was lifted?
Yes. And I mean, that's why I kept telling you yesterday, like, there's no guarantees. And we could have been sitting here and bemoaning the fact that the bats never got going, and there were opportunities earlier in the game where, hey, runners in scoring position, and my wife and I were watching it, and it's just like, what? How can this not happen? And then all of a sudden, the 7th inning. And it was all started by the hustle of Parker Meadows.
On that bunt.
There's so much for us. There's so many great moments for us to talk about. But to be able to get a bunt like that, and we had talked, hey, why not play small ball? I don't necessarily know that that's it. By definition, it's small ball. But for Parker Meadows, that should be a part of his game and has been a little bit. It needs to be more of it because he is so fast.
Yeah, when you can bunt for a base hit, that's not the same as sacrificing it out.
Correct.
And he has the speed, 6'5", long legs to do it. Yeah, that kicked off the rally in that inning, but what really gave him a little bit of breathing room was Dylan Dinkler's home run, which I thought was so ironic. Yeah, we can't drive in anybody in scoring position, so
let's just say if you're at the plate, you're in scoring position.
Just hit it a mile. We don't need anybody on base.
Yes.
That was huge because we knew one run here, one run there was going to change the tide of the game, and once the Tigers started to get a little bit of momentum, hitting becomes contagious. In that 7th inning, you're right. They just kept hitting.
Yeah, and it didn't have to be doubles, triples. It was single, but it was with bases loaded. And then it was with guys on second and third. Like, that's where you're able to get the lead that they got, because even after Dingler hit the home run, I don't know if you had this conversation with yourself or if you're watching with your wife. I turned to my wife and I said, there is no chance that 2 runs is enough to win this game.
And it wouldn't have been.
No, because, I mean, the error, like, it could have been.
Well, it could have been, but can we highlight Vest for a second? Because in the moment, you're going, how do you drop the ball? The wherewithal to still rally and make the throw over to second, because it ends the inning. The alternative is Jose Ramirez is on second base, and Vest's pitch count starts to climb up.
Right.
That was it. Look, he catches the ball, he doesn't have to make the throw, but the fact that he was able to pick up and not let one mistake be 2.
Score.
Yeah, exactly.
But yes, and to highlight it even more is the wherewithal, the hustle, the ability to put a bad play and not make one play into 2 bad plays to make that throw. But Javi Baez, his tag on the Dingler throw to second base on Ramirez stealing.
Stolen base, yeah.
And then to get Ramirez at second, like, Ramirez right now has got to be waking up going, man, I just can't get to second base. All I want is second base. And the Tigers, and it's Javi Baez with a teach tape of how to place a tag. Like, if you don't have a throw from Dingler, like, that's the first thing that starts it, right? It is a laser beam, and it's on the money. But it's the tag that finishes things off. If you don't have a tag like that, even though the throw is great, you're probably not getting them. Same thing with Vest. Great throw, but it's all about the finish.
I asked you if there's a weight lifted off their shoulders. They blew a 15.5 game lead in the division. I don't know if you've heard that. They heard that, and multiple Tigers referenced that. Jack Flaherty with Jennifer Hammond, Fox 2.
Yep.
And now Kerry Carpenter is a man of God, so he didn't quite put it that bluntly, but he had thoughts as well. That was with Brad Galley after the game. Weight off their shoulder. Specifically, Cleveland had been a problem.
Oh, yeah.
Last year in the playoffs, this year down the stretch. I don't want to overstate it, John, but I also don't want to understate the significance of taking down those guys who have been a problem for years. And now seeing the offense come alive even a little bit, right? It's that whole see the ball go through the hoop. A little bit of confidence. Seattle is not untouchable. You know, I mean, you're going to throw Skubal twice in a 5-game series if necessary.
Yeah.
So he's going to throw in potentially more games and a higher percentage of the games this round than he did last round. Meanwhile, Seattle's number one, Brian Wu, I was reading last night, it's uncertain. He might not pitch at all in this series.
Yeah. And so, yeah, those are all things that we'll get a chance to take a look at. And I know that, it all starts tomorrow.
I know.
So there's not much time to sit around and wait. They're on their way out there, and it is going to be a great matchup. It'll be a lot of fun. And you asked the question, is all forgiven? I don't know. It's there's so much that goes into what happened, and now that they're moving on, like we're all happy and excited that they're moving on. But this is where they were last year.
Yep.
And so to be better, you need to finish better.
Advance. I would tell you, and I'll only speak for myself as a fan, I have forgiven them for the division collapse. Mm-hmm. I haven't forgiven the deadline, and I don't think the season is a success as we sit today. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think so. But
if they beat Seattle, the team that went aggressive at the deadline, they win this series anyway. Well, as much as I'd hate to admit it, like they got away with it, right? You'd have to forgive the deadline at that point.
Well, and here's what I love about this team is, I think it is forgiven for the players in regards to there was an epic collapse at the end of the season. They could have just sat there and said, you know what? Hey, let's get out of this. Let's see what we can do in the offseason. Let's see what the front office is going to do, blah, blah, blah. But the players never quit. And it was so much fun to see them finally have that type of inning. And for Riley Green to have 2 hits and coming off of, quote unquote, being benched in a key moment in game 2 to have the game that he had. It was fun to watch.
We got the phone lines open. We'll start with Stan. 248-539-9797. Stan, you're on 97.1.
Good morning, Jim. Good morning, John. And if Heather's there, life is good. It's such a great accomplishment. This team last year snuck up on people. This year they were the hunted, being one of the youngest teams in the league. They stuck to their program. Couldn't be happier. I think, like you said, Jim, we got 2 school going against Seattle, but also if it stands looking at Fangraph's depth chart, they only have 2 left on their roster in the bullpen.
Stan, we're losing you,
Your
bud.
phone's chopping in and out. If you could, are you still there?
All right. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, wait.
Sorry.
Sorry, Stan.
Stan, I love you. We can't. I'm sorry. We tried to fight through it with your phone.
No, but it is all about the guys. And to be in a position where, hey, bases are loaded, who would you want up? And I know Perez was one of the guys that started it off with a single, but it's Torque and then it's Green to finish things off. What did we say yesterday? You had, bases loaded, and you had Carp, Green, Torque, and nothing. Strikeout.
AJ took some flack because he put Wencel Perez in the 3 spot. He's been cold. And it ended up working out because it provides the buffer. He's the switch hitter.
Right.
It puts the other manager in a weird spot. And he didn't start the game well, but he did have a big knock late.
Yes.
Ended up working out.
Yes, it did. And I didn't think that much of it because, but then you look at social media and everybody's bringing up, he's 5 of 56 in the last, 56 at bats. But it only takes that one. And that's the uniqueness about baseball.
And you know how you pull off TIT? Big knocks.
That's right. Well done.
I don't know what I'm supposed to say to that. It's 97-1.